Welcome back, everyone. Drake Hawkins with you again for episode 4 of our mini-series on the Curiosity update tutorial of surviving Mars. Let's go ahead with number 4 here, the Colonists, and let's learn about how to get colonies to Mars, how to handle their workforce placement, and making sure their needs are provided for, and all that good
Welcome
stuff.
back, Commander.
Well,
In this tutorial, you will finally familiarize yourself with the challenges of sustaining a society on Mars.
A non-robotic society. Everything done beforehand, sorry, drones on the brain, was the prelude to this very moment, the arrival of the first founders. Our first colonists are called the Founders. After they set foot on Mars, a trial period meant to test how humans fare on Mars will begin. No more colonists will arrive from Earth until the Founder stage ends. Be careful. If all of your colonists die during this period, your mission will be terminated. Alright. Best of luck. Here we go. There's our beautiful dome that we made.
The foundations for bringing your first colonists have already been laid down. One of the final things left to do is to provide the Founders with living space.
Living quarters are built inside the dome. The space within the dome is limited, so each building has to be carefully planned. Construct living quarters in the indicated location. So yeah, it looks like we got a massive wind well, not massive, but we got a bunch of wind farms. We got a bunch of storage. They managed to put in oxygen storage, some extra water. We got ourselves a really nice drone hub here, and yeah, it looks like the same map, but we just shuffled everything around a little strangely. Yeah, we still have a moisture vaporator. We still got everything. It's just in weird, odd places. Alright, so first building. Click on buildings, so B down there or that, and over here for the homes. This is actually to build the domes we did last time, and the home, education, and research tab here, and living quarters. This is a what I would call a large space. We can rotate it to move it around. Some things only cover 1 hex, some things cover 3. This one covers a 4x4x4 or whatever triangle thing. Let's place them there. We could hit the what are these square brackets to switch the visual of it. So, but we'll leave it at the one they suggest. Place that there. Construct living quarters in the indicated location. Now, drones are going to grab the stuff just like everything else. They're going to grab the resources. It's 10 concrete. You're going to whip around here and head in the doors. Pew pew pew. In they go, piling everything up. Super easy, fast construction. These are not great happiness for people, but they're a good spot for getting them started. Living quarters.
With all preparations complete, the colony is ready for the arrival of the Founders.
Order a passenger rocket from the resupply screen. I would not suggest this in a real game because you have living quarters but nothing else. You have nothing to do when they get here. I tend to like to put down some basic resources or services and whatnot, but they'll get to that, I'm sure. These tutorial guys are pretty smart. Passenger
From this screen, you can inspect all available applicants and determine which ones will travel to the colony.
Colonists are organized by their age, specialization, and various traits. You can set desired and undesired traits in every category using the thumbs up and thumbs down. Colonists with more of the desired traits will board the rocket, while colonists with any undesired traits will be rejected. Note that. Okay? Down thumbs means absolutely not. Up thumbs basically means preferred. So, use the applicant filter to set criteria for what type of colonists you want to bring on Mars. Alternatively, you may use the review option and handpick 12 individual applicants. When you're ready, use the launch to launch them towards Mars. Now, we're just going to skim through these real quick. Age categories: children do not work. Youths, adults, and middle-aged do. Seniors don't unless there's some specialty tech. Everybody will age as they process, spending most of their time in adult and middle-aged. Early on, I would suggest you do not allow seniors, for sure. Do not allow children, and probably don't allow middle-aged either. I don't think any of them... I've never seen children start as an option. But yes, middle-aged you may want to not accept if you can get away with it. Clicking that will drop the total available matching colonists, but it'll mean that these people don't get old as quickly, so you don't run into the losing them leaving the workforce as quickly. Let's go back and check the other categories. Specializations, each based on different buildings they'll work at. Anybody who is a scientist, or anybody who's working rather a scientist job that is not a scientist, not specialized, but not a scientist specialization, will get a 50% reduction in their efficiency. Non-specialized people will essentially work at half the effectiveness unless it is a non-specialized job like working the diner. That would be a cool diner to work at. I would love to work at a diner on Mars. That would be pretty cool. The bartender on Mars? How cool would it be to flip those bottles, huh? Low G? Whew. Anyways, or on the moon. Medics, botanists, geologists, officers, engineers, and scientists will look into those later. We're not really going to specialize. At the beginning, I wouldn't bring any officers, generally speaking, and I would not bring... I wouldn't bring scientists, because I wouldn't build science facilities immediately. But we won't leave that on. We'll leave that rather like that. Sex, gender, others, doesn't matter. No effect on things except for that if you have only males or only females, you will not be able to breed. No test tube babies yet. There is a fancy ability that lets you do stuff without people later. Cloning. So different categories have different effects. Think through them. Workaholics, for instance, they don't get a penalty when they're given a heavy workload, as in a button that turns on heavy workload makes them more effective but hurts their morale. They also have an increased performance. Great group. Sexy, a great trait to have, increases the birth rate. Greatly increased birth rate. Any of these, genius, celebrity, and saint, are amazing. They're like superheroes. Genius provides free research to the colony. Celebrity provides free cash, and that's done every soul. Saints give a major boost of morale to all people who have the religious trait. The religious trait, higher individual morale and low sanity, never leads to suicide. Pretty great trait. There are some that you may not want to have, like nerds, or like gamers, for instance. Recovers sanity when gaming, however, they have a demand for gaming. So if you don't provide it, they may get upset. There are separate pages here, so do pay attention to that. Enthusiasts are wonderful. Increased morale boost when at high morale. Or increase rather performance when at high morale. Hippies like gardens, which are typically the first comfort buildings you make. Great idea. Party animals need a social thing. If they're given it, it's great. If not, these guys want exercise and more health recovery bonus. Great. So that's the perks. We have flaws. A lot of people just say no flaws at all at the beginning. There are certain flaws you do and don't want to have. Chronic conditions, terrible. Idiots are dangerous. Whiners are not that bad. Cowards, not so great. Loners, good if you're in a small dome. Not great if you're not. But so think through these, look through these for yourself, and make your decisions. Quirks. Tourists are horrible. They're just bad for business. I don't know why they're here. They should be something that gives us lots of money or something when they come, but it doesn't. Tourists just stay around temporarily. If they have a fun time, they might stay. If not, whatever. The guru is interesting. He can be good or not so good depending on his other traits. He randomly spreads other traits of this colony to the persons of the same dome with less than 3 traits. He could trade traits like gamer if he's got it. So be careful with him, but a guru is pretty amazing if you've got him, especially if he's got a good trait. Vegans, don't worry, they'll tell you. That's it. That's all you need to know about that. Anyways, that's it for that information. We're just going to go ahead and hit launch. We could hit review.
You may want to review and hand-pick individual candidates for the founders.
Yes, founders may be a better choice. It may be more important to you to pick these guys, especially depending on your game style and your particular rule settings. So there are some rule settings that prohibit you from ever getting more applicants. So think carefully about them. The review options allows you to view individual applicants one by one and view their perks and flaws. It may be a good idea to do this for the founders in order to get an exact number of specialists you desire, as well as to handpick the traits of these colonists. The view page will show you all the colonists that fit the criteria of the filter set on the previous page. Word to the wise, clicking this sets them. If you back up, unless this has changed, correct me if I'm wrong, if I do this and then I go back, well, I'll correct me if I'm wrong, and then I hit review again, they're gone. The ones that I selected are gone. That is annoying that they didn't fix that, but we'll see. So basically you can't go back and switch and then go back and like, okay, I picked these 5 guys. Now when I actually alter something, it just resets the whole page. It's kind of annoying, but we're going to just hit launch and let them bring down the 12 that best fit the criteria that we have given them.
Colonists will arrive on Mars with a small amount of food, but it will not last long. We need to make sure that they will be able to produce their own food on the red planet.
Yes.
The hydroponic farm can produce food. Although the colonists can take food directly from a food depot, they will be happier if they can pick it up from a grocery.
Well, that's fantastic. Construct a hydroponics farm and a grocer inside the dome. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Find those buildings. That'll be down here for the food, as well as farms later, and fungal farms if you get access to them. It doesn't seem to want to be picky about where we place these, so we'll tuck him in here. That's nice. And let's go ahead and put a grocer in. No particular place priority. Well, hello, local train supplies. Get a little train noises while we're going ahead and letting these guys build. Sounds from back home on the blue planet. Pretty quick to build these things. They don't require a lot. And we have a lot of supplies and a lot of unbusy
Colonists need service buildings to keep them comfortable on Mars. The grocery that you already constructed is one such service building.
Different services satisfy different interests colonists may have. The colonists will feel more comfortable inside a dome, which has the interests covered, but you don't need to cover every interest in a smaller dome. This may not be even possible. That was confusing. If the comfort of the colonists falls too low, they may become Earthsick and decide to leave Mars and get back to Earth. However, Martian-born colonists will never get Earthsick. Construct a spacebar inside the dome. I would never construct a spacebar in my first small dome. That's pretty wild and wasteful, I think. But hey, party on, fellas. What does the spacebar require? It requires 15 concrete and 5 metals. Oh, look, some food is being delivered to the grocer. So these people could run out and run over all the way over here and pick up some food and bring it back and put it. But the drones are going to do the delivery for them. Note, I don't think they're going to mention this, but I would always have a universal storage and or at least a food storage nearby a dome. Can we get work done on this thing, please? 13 of 15. We got 5 metals stored there. There we go. Put her in place. Look at that happen in place, huh? Who wouldn't want to hang out there in the little round, what looks like urinals? Sorry, but it kind of does. Anyways, let's build that. Is it finished? No. Apparently, the drone took the rest of the day off to leave the work for... Oh, there we go. We got the spinning martini on top. All right, wait for the passenger rocket to arrive and land near the dome. Well, it's already arrived because it's been flashing the whole time. We won't land it too crazy close to the dome, but if I land it way over here, no operational dome in walking distance. There we go. About that far. Right? That's about how far they need to be before far from operational domes, and there we go. I don't know how many tiles that is, but think it through before you land them. Now, again, this guy can land and cause a bunch of dust, so let's not stick him right, say, here, because that would be a little messy. Watch when he lands. It actually generates a cloud of dust around, which will have an effect on the maintenance of buildings nearby. I'm not sure if this is going to be close enough to hit this one.
Full of hope and determination, the first founders have set foot on the red planet.
Excellent. I didn't know they would use the new beginning conversation. Yeah, I'm not sure if that counted. We might have been just far enough away. If it's too close, the building will actually take maintenance damage. The next 10 souls will be full of... pardon me. Full of choking and coughing. Full of difficulties and dangers, but also with great promises and opportunities. It is now to us to prove that Mars can be a doorway to great riches and the future of human civilization. Even the most epic adventures begin with a single step. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Effect: arrival of additional colonists is temporarily suspended until the colony proves able to sustain human life. The founding colonists must survive for 10 souls before the additional people can arrive. The colony, the colony will be evaluated positively if, before that period, in the event of a first human born on Mars. If you feel you're up for the challenge, Try constructing a medical building and raising the comfort of the founders as much as possible with service buildings. Look at them. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
New colonists have arrived.
Yeah, airwalk colonists. Well done, guys. Hop inside and get changed into your outfits.
Now that you have a space bar, you can customize its work settings.
Really? Okay. The founders that arrive have taken available jobs automatically, but you can customize their work assignments. With the building selected, notice the 3 available work shifts in the info panel. 2 of them are active, with 2 workers employed in each shift. The more workers assigned to the building, the better the building performs. Initially, however, we won't be needing as many people working in the spacebar, as there will be other important jobs to fill and limited people to fill them, especially during the founder stage. Disable 1 job slot in every active shift. So we select the bar, and over here we can mouse over this and select the bar. Select the space bar, not hit the space bar, but select. We can do that too. And right click on one of the work slots in the first 2 shifts until the slot shows red. Right click kicks the person out of work. If we've got the game paused, then nobody else can fill it immediately. Then we right click to red lock it like that. There we go. Do that on the second one and we're good.
Healthy colonists at working age are able to fill any position, but how well they perform at a certain position varies between colonists.
Some buildings are more effective with workers of certain specializations. For example, scientists at the research lab. Construct a research lab inside the dome. Well, it's a good thing I didn't restrict our fine fellows in the research department. Let's put it in there because we don't want to unnecessarily use up part of one of these pies. These pies are basically what you're going to be dealing with the whole time with how you decide what goes where in your dome. If I had to put this one in this one in this, and this one in this, we'd use up 3 of these, and then if they said, hey, build another, 2 of these size buildings, we wouldn't have room for it. And that would be bad. Come on, guys, build me a research lab. You got the drill here. Do this quick. You are requiring 8 electronics. Oh, well, 2 concrete so far, 15. Do we have the 8 electronics? I think we do. We can check up here, Drake, because it's showing us. Mousing over this will show not just the resources there, but the actual resources production tab, which is great. These are basic resources, so note that when you're seeing anything that talks about advanced or basic resources, some techs affect only advanced, some techs affect basic. For instance, there's a tech that affects the amount of basic resources required to build a dome. If that dome requires polymers, that's not a basic, that's an advanced. So on. Power grid, water, ocean. Power grid and ocean. The power grid and the water and oxygen are listed there. Research is listed here. I have no idea what this funky purple thing is. What is that? I am very curious. Is this part of a new expansion? We will see. How long, guys? Can we hurry up on this whole building of this fancy... Oh, you guys are all busy working on the rocket. Now, we could drop the priority of the rocket, right? And increase the priority of the building, but it's pretty much done now, so... Note that if you change the priority on a rocket, when it launches, heads back to Earth, and comes back...
Work shifts, among other things, are a way to manage your workforce.
It'll still have the change.
The more shifts a building has open, the more colonists it will attract to work there.
The more shifts it has open, the more colonists it will attract. Okay, so it tries to balance out the things. Okay, colonists don't like to work at night and will lose sanity while doing so. Furthermore, you may activate the heavy workload option, which boosts the performance of a building during that shift, but inflicts sanity and health problems on the workers due to the increased stress at their jobs. With the research lab selected, activate a second work shift. So the labs at the research lab starts with 1 shift open. That'll be the default. We will select the second. Now 2 of the 3
buildings with higher priority will be allocated workers, power, and maintenance before others.
On-site research is very important for the long-term prosperity and survival of your colony, so let's prioritize it. Set the priority of the research lab to high. There we go, set to high, and we should fill that spot right away. There we go.
With the research lab up and running, let's begin researching some technologies.
From the research screen, queue at least 3 of the available technologies. Let's look at that. That is going to be H for our research hotkey. I don't know why it's H. So apparently we've got 1 billion research techs available and nothing developed. That's a little odd. Mars crowdfunding. Look at that. If you watch my 985 Let's Play, you'll know why I'm laughing about that. There's a setting that allows it to randomize everything. Right now, things are basically by tiers. So certain techs are likely to appear in the first 5 or 6 slots, and then kind of a middle set, and then there's a bunch that'll more likely appear in the latter set, like deep metal extraction over here is a kind of a late game one, a mid game one like the CO2 jet propulsion for your shuttles that transport things around for you, hanging gardens, spire building, that sort of deal. Like, so these things are kind of mid and late game, and these are early game. There's a chaos theory option, which makes things harder typically, unless you get Mars crowdfunding like here, which is where we got it. I mean, it was stupid cheap to make massive amounts of research and money, so it was really awesome. So let's do research-wise. Let's think about this. We want soil adaptations, probably, in my opinion, the most important early biotech. So you're either going to do soil adaptation. If it's on random and you don't find that, you're going to have to find low-G fungus or low-G fungi for the fungal farms. Great basic food production. It's a disturbing concept, but you know, it's an outdome building, so that saves space in your dome, which might be nice. It produces daily instead of in cycles where it dumps one big crop in chunks. I think the soil adaptation farm is more long-term great. This one's very awesome. Advanced Martian engines. I like this one. Rockets and shuttles require less fuel. So instead of 60 fuel to start, default, it would be 40. Explorer AI. This is amazing. Anything that gives you tech is incredible. So I'm going to do that one. Explorer AI generates 100 research per soul from the RC Explorer. Just having him on the planet gives you research. So I thought, oh, that's a great order, but I'm now deciding maybe I want to change the order. So I can hold Control down and click on this one, and it'll bump it to the top of the list, shoving everything else down, including the ones on the bottom, just right off the list. Then maybe we want to think about subsurface heaters. If we get cold waves, these things will keep things operational. We could do other different upgrades and whatnot. Adaptive probes. If you're going to buy probes, wait until you get this tech. Makes them cheaper, one, and they auto deep scan every time they're used, which is huge. Astrogeologist is also a great guy to start with. Lets you deep scan right off the hop. Earth-Mars Initiative. Oh look, more research. Let's do that. Let's put that right up to the top then, alright? That'll give us another 100. Is it 100? Yeah, sponsor increase by 100 research. So anything that does that, that's going to be my personal priority. I love the sensor towers that are free. That's awesome. We'll do the scanner after. Oh no, we didn't want the scanner after. We didn't want him at the top. Just left click to delete him. Pretend that I did that to intentionally teach you something. We'll hit close.
Congratulations.
Hopefully they will tell me about the other things.
You have provided everything needed for a successful founder stage.
The founder stage takes 10 souls to complete. Be careful. If all your colonists die during this period, the mission will be terminated. Having a baby born on Mars before the end of the period will also complete the founder stage. This can happen if the comfort of the colonists is very high. Alright, now, before we continue, I do want to pop back there because I don't think they're going to tell us about this, but a quick look at the screen, your funding that's available, the research currently per soul, all of these areas. Outsourcing, as we'll look at in a second. Having the research lab is producing 228 research per soul. Sponsor's giving us 100. We'll get an extra 100 from him once we get this one, and then we'll have another category appear in here with the Explorer AI for every Explorer, and it peters down as they get more of them, so they're reduced efficiency as they go down. But this button down here is important to look at. It will be a category or a factor in your game, most likely. In exchange for 200 million funding, outsourced research provides outsourced researchers will contribute 1,000 soul in the next, or 1,000 research rather on the next soul for the next 5 souls. So $200 million gets you 1,000 over the course of 5 souls. So that is 200 research per soul. Great, it used up 200 million bucks. We could go there, outsource, we could outsource 10,000 research. That's 2,000 per soul. That's wild. This is one day done. Boom. And this will almost be done. They will be done in a single day. We're at 25, 28 now with those 2 outsourcings. Careful, your money is going to be extremely tight. But when you have lots of it, use this.
You have completed the tutorial for the founder stage.
Good, I'm glad I showed you that. So the founder stage takes the 10 souls. We already did that. Next tutorial, you'll learn how to manage larger colonies consisting of multiple domes. So thank you so much for joining me. We're of one more of these left in the mini-series, and I appreciate all the feedback you guys have given me in the past on things. I've learned so much from you guys. I figured I would do a tutorial for everyone as well. Hopefully you're enjoying it. It may have taught you something you didn't know. I'm trying to throw a few things in there for you, but if you're enjoying it, hit the like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel and would like to see more Surviving Mars. Also put comments in any of these tutorial videos to let me know what you want for the next series, maps that you think are really great or really challenging, or perhaps you think we should do a super easy or something. Let me know your take on it, as much detail as you want. Tell me and write me a novel, I don't care. Just let me know what you think about doing the next Let's Play of Surviving Mars on the Clan Hawkins channel. And as always, we'll see you in game.